Hello, my name is Tony Litt. I'm the MD of Sunrise Radio, and it's my immense pleasure to bring you the official Sunrise Radio podcast. We are the #1 commercial Asian station in the United Kingdom, with many firsts to our name, and we continue to be the voice of British Asians who have given us their love and loyalty over 30 years. It's a legacy we cherish and a responsibility that we don't take lightly. Our aim has always been to entertain the listeners with the best of Bollywood and Bhangra, while also addressing their concerns. A real voice for the community, a vibrant community, and a great nation. We are proud to be British and Asian. This podcast is a compilation of some of the things we do on the station, with a stellar lineup of presenters who each have their own personality and style. It's entertaining, informative, engaging, and we hope you will enjoy it here as a podcast if you are unable to tune in to the radio. Don't forget to subscribe and tell your family and friends about this podcast, and do leave us a comment on what you think. We'd love to hear from you. All the best always. Team Sunrise.
The UK's biggest station mix. Sunrise Radio.
Hi, this is Anushka Arora. As always, lovely to have your company for the Sunrise Radio podcast. And this week, I have another special guest on the show. Simran, welcome to Sunrise Radio. How are you?
All well. Thanks, Anushka, for having me here.
No, thank you for taking the time out amongst this humongous success of, your songs, Lutt Le Gaya. But I just want to park that aside for a moment, because I just want to, we want to get to know you. Now, we know your songs, of course, but, you as a person and your musical journey as well. So I'd love to, understand as to, your journey into music and how you got into it and, how you are here where you are today.
Well, music has always been something that I've lived on, to be honest, because I was a child when my father took me to a classical institution, and he got me my first Guruji ever, where I started learning music, and that's how the journey began. And then since then, it's just been it's been an ongoing process. And to be honest, it has never really learning has been the kind of thing that I've always been driven towards, and I feel I'll always be driven towards it, because I think it's an ongoing process.
Absolutely.
So I was three years old when my father took me to Guruji, and since then the training has been on. And and then my college happened, and then we shifted our base from Haryana to Chandigarh, and then right now I stay in Mumbai, where I'm pursuing it professionally. So I think music has given me a lot.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's given us some amazing music that we have been hearing from you. Your voice is gorgeous. It is so lovely. So some of the songs, previous to Lutt Le Gaya that you have sung have been absolutely phenomenal. But let's talk about your experience on The Voice. I mean, I think that must have been a huge learning curve for you. What were the few takeaways that you had from being on that show?
I think my major takeaways happened right after The Voice got done, when I actually stepped into the reality world post The Voice, because that's when I moved my base to Mumbai. And so what happens is, reality shows, they're kind of illusions. They're this delusional bubble that they put you in, and you kind of think that you've made it, but it's really just the start of the real world for you. So that's exactly what happened when The Voice was done. And when I shifted my base to Bombay and I started meeting people, I used to meet a lot of composers and people within the industry itself, and that's when I got to know that the journey is only getting started. So that was one major takeaway, that reality only hits after a reality show is done, right? Another takeaway that I feel was, when you're on a reality show, you're mostly singing other people's songs, but to be a voice that sings for their own story, the voice that brings a new aspect, a new emotion, a new perspective to people, to be that voice and to be that person in somebody's life, to become relevant to somebody's life, is something very, very difficult to achieve. achieve. So you've got to be very consistent with your work, and you've got to voice up your own story. So I think that was also one major learning that I had, because I've never been the person who's been very fond of singing other people's songs. I've always been the one who wanted to voice my own story up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think major takeaways.
That's
the experience.
interesting, isn't it? Because I guess, like you said, you only realize that once you're out of that reality show, like what the real reality is. Did you face
Yes.
any challenges? I know you in that show, you came across so many musicians, whether it was Arman Malik,
Yeah.
Adnan Sami, Asha Bhosle, A.R. Rahman, Harshdeep, Kanika, whoever it was. I mean, were there any challenges during the reality show? Because reality shows have become so big, but also, like you mentioned, they really do keep you in a bubble.
I think God has been kind that way, that I haven't really faced challenges, because, like, I've always been the person who's just like head down, work consistently. That's it. I'm not the kind who would, talk here and there, especially when I'm working. I hate disturbances and I hate distractions. So voice has been like a very smooth process rather for me, and like it's one experience that I think I'm going to cherish forever. I am going to talk about it to more people. I'll probably be telling my children about it, how it was. So so I mean, it is it is an experience of its own kind, but challenges, I think it's a very you're very protected when you're in a reality show, because there are people taking care of you. There are people taking care of how you look, how you eat, and how like your overall personality. There's just so much happening around you, because you are the one they're focusing on, and they are essentially fetching business out of, right? It only starts when you step out of a reality show, is when you realize that, okay, what am I now supposed to do with myself? What's life going to be like? What do I do when I wake up tomorrow morning? Because there's no schedule that you're on. So you've got to discipline your own self, and you've got to put yourself to a schedule. So I think that was a major challenge. So, which is why I said in the previous question that the real reality started only after I was done with the reality TV.
It's so beautiful the way you put that, actually, because it makes sense for people like us who watch it and think, like, what's going to happen to this, winner or runner-up, or, this contestant. We often think that after reality shows, because we also watch you every day or every weekend, and we're just like, oh yeah, now what? Like, and then you kind of wait for their songs to come out post that.
Yes.
But would you say that you've changed, like, over the years? I mean, The Voice was in 2019. Fast forward to 2025, a lot has happened, as we know. So how have you changed as a person?
I think if I keep just my musical journey aside, of course, there have been songs, there have been releases, people have liked them, people have accepted me in different ways, and Bollywood has happened. A lot has happened that way. But I also feel, with the experiences that I've had, my ears have gotten more trained professionally. I feel that a lot, because, as in when I started performing on the stage, as in when I started interacting more with the audience, and when the audiences started seeing me for who I am as a person, and not just a reality TV contestant. When they started seeing who Simran Choudhary is as an artist, I think a lot has changed since then, because you kind of start getting attached to people. There are people who resonate with that particular emotion that you're trying to convey. And so what happens after that is, people reach out to you. People express their emotions to you. If a song of mine has resonated with any particular episode in their life, and I've become an essential part of their life, they always reach out. And that brings more emotional maturity. I feel I have grown a lot as a person. I feel that within myself. And I think one major aspect that I was talking to my family also was, I was telling them that how I've become more vocal about how I feel and how I communicate about my own emotions. I was never this person, let's say like 5 years 5 years ago, I wasn't this person who could share transparently what she was feeling like. I always used to consider myself as a closed book, but I think now I kind of allow myself to choose people who I open to, and that used to be like a rare case to me. previously.
I guess
So yeah,
it's
I've grown.
a
I've grown
journey.
as a person.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
journey that, makes you who you are. And it's so nice to hear that. But Simran, what would you say has been the turning point in your career over the years? Mhm.
I feel there are quite many turning points for an artist, be it my first big collaboration that happened, be it my first playback that happened, be it my first independent song that really, really worked and got me attention. There have been major turning points, and they've all held a special place in my life, and they've all been very, very relevant to me. And I make sure I acknowledge and be grateful for them. I think lately what I would really acknowledge is Lutt Le Gaya, obviously,
Yeah.
because it's getting me eyeballs,
Yeah.
it's getting me ears. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I think let's talk about that now because that song has just, look, to be fair, the entire music album was fantastic. The film was fantastic. It all, like everything was just worked so well with the film and the music album. I've heard you say in some of your other interviews that you only recorded this song 10 days before the release. So tell me,
Yes.
like, the emotions that you were going through up until you recorded it, and then you posted that video where you were watching the song for the first time on the screen, on the big screen.
Yes.
So just talk me through all
Yes.
the emotions for this song, because it is such an iconic song now. It's like gone down in history.
I know. And little did I expect for this to happen. I mean, like how you saw in the video from the theater that I posted, and I was least expecting my song to the film because I was like, okay, like it's just been 10 days since I recorded, and I know now that this was the film that I recorded this for, but I don't know because it was like pretty last minute. So has the song made it to the final cut?
Yeah.
Have they been able to place the song, and have they been able to distribute the cuts that they sent to the cinema halls, right? Like how the film distributes the reels. So I was pretty nervous about it, and then like finally the song appears in the theater. I'm shocked and I'm overwhelmed and I'm surprised, and I just 100 emotions all at once. I'm loaded with them, and there's like a whole wave of gratitude that I felt right after because I think I've just acknowledged a fact, and it's just been like probably a week ago that I realized that, maybe I'm not crediting the whole moment that God sent towards me. And I need to believe that this was meant to happen, and it just happened in the most beautiful way.
Yeah,
But I was pretty anxious until I watched the movie.
I'm sure, because you're right. You just don't know what's going to make the final edit of a film, right? You just have no idea until it officially gets released. You never know.
Yes.
But tell me, Shashwat and Aditya, they were there part of the recording. What was it like to be with them whilst recording the song?
I think they are two very very liberating people, I would say. There's one thing that I've found very common in Shashwat and Aditya as well, that they let the artist be. Now Shashwat is the kind of person who's always on his toes. And for whatever little time that I've known Aditya for, he's a very composed person. He's very calm, very composed, and he just lets you stay in your space and whatever time you need. And it was only when I realized that the Lutt Le Gaya was being placed and it was made for Dhurandhar, and that's when I realized that, okay, like, imagine being in his shoes. 10 days to your film, the song is being made. There's no idea if the song's going to be approved, but there he is sitting in the studio, and he's just letting me be like, whatever time I took to crack the melody or to crack the composition or to crack the lyrics, whatever little time I had to take, he didn't rush it up for me because he knew that if there was any sort of pressure, I might not be able to perform, So in order to bring out the most efficient version of me, he kept himself all composed and all packed. And I think it is something worth admiring in him. And Shashwat, on the other end, he makes sure that you deliver your best on the mic.
Yeah.
He'll keep taking takes out of you. He'll keep telling you how he used to tell me, like, Simi, just one more take. I know you can do better. And he'll just ask you to do like a lot of variations and as many as you can think of. So I think that they're both incredibly talented in their own ways. But yeah, one thread that definitely binds them together is the kind of liberating people that they are.
And it's nice because, you know, for a creative person like you need that freedom. You need to, you know, just have that space within you so you can bring out the best. And
Yes.
we're so glad like this whole team worked together to bring us this song because it's just fantastic. I mean, Simran, you've worked with various artists over the years. Who would be your dream collaboration, you know, that you really, somebody that you really want to work with?
I have said this like, I don't know, maybe at least 100 times in whatever interviews that I've given so far. And I think all the interviews that you will watch of me since probably 2016, 2017, ever since I started giving interviews, you'll only find one name when it comes to my dream collaboration, and it is Gurdas Maan Sahab.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
craving for that one moment that I finally sort of achieve, you know. I don't want that moment to happen and me feeling that I sort of deserve this position. I want to be deserving enough for that place when finally one day I happen to I get to work with Man Sahab, and it's been a dream, and I really hope universe is kind enough and finds me worthy of that collaboration someday.
Oh, believe me, it will. Believe me, it will. I think actually Satinder Sartaji, he posted something about you as well the other day that you had reposted, right? Am I correct?
Oh no. So I posted a story just last night when I was watching his interview, and I was just so impressed by the way he spoke.
Yeah.
I mean, that man, that artist is one big inspiration for everybody around.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we really hope your dream collab with Mansab happens. I really hope it does. We'll put it out there in the
Thank
universe for
you.
you. But Simran, thank you so much for taking the time out. Now, listen, I can't let
Thanks,
you go. I can't let you go without you singing anything. I'm not going to tell you which one, song to sing. So I'm just going to leave it up to you, and you decide whichever song you want to give us a few lines of.
I think I'm gonna sing the latest milestone that I've had. So I'm just very happy about it. So
Go
let's do
for
it.
it.
आजा वे आजा सीने ला जा हाय सजन मैनू लुट ले गया हाय सजन मैनू लुट ले गया हाय सजन मेरी अखां तरस दी हाय ईमान मेरा टुट पै गया ओ मैनू लुट ले गया ओ मैनू लुट ले गया. Thank you.
Oh, we love it so much, Simran. Thank you so much, and really wish
Thanks,
you all the best for everything that you do. And thank you so much for all the beautiful songs that you've been giving us over the years.
Thank you. It's been such a pleasure chatting with you.